Right, so I really thought I was going to get finished in the last one, but obviously not. Sorry for keeping you so long. Anyway, I'll continue on. So I was talking about the start. You can sign up or log in, and if you sign up, so it's going to fix this. So I'll continue on. The sign up literally is setup, which you're seeing up at the top, and then save the player, which you see right down here. Save player is enter the name of your save file. So I can just put in Brian, and it's going to go into the folder where we're at, and then add on .txt at the end. And then we do this open an out file, which is a pointer to a file, and then using Shane's write object and pass in the out file. Load is, in the reverse. Enter the name of your save file and then load it in. So here we have Shane's serialization, which I've changed obviously just to fit into my own player stuff. The one thing I don't have is the item store, so the player's inventory does not get written out. I told you about that. So it would have been more personal if I had that, but no, it's still pretty much just the same as Shane's code. And Shane's binio.cpp. There's no point looking in there because that's Shane's code, so I'm not really expecting any marks for this. It's just a nice feature that I wanted to have in the game, especially to stop you from the big character creation at the start every time you try to play the game. And then read object, which is the opposite of write object. Just so this name is equal to and then it returns the boolean. Okay, so next thing, let's have a look at the functionality.cpp. This basically just is a couple of puzzles that are completely hard-coded, and some of the code is pretty terrible in here as well. This is just for fun things I wanted to have in the game. So puzzle 1 takes in the pointer to the player, and also a pointer to the items in the world. I don't actually think I need the items in the world, but I had intended that I would use them, so that's why that's there. Anyway, so what happens here is we check if the player's in the statue room. If the player's in the statue room and has the ceremonial knife, and the player has the stone chalice, then it just has this sequence of events. So I forgot to bump this back up again. Do it now. So it just says something strange is happening. Hit a perception roll. So hit or. If you don't hit or, it's going to break out and you've missed your chance in the puzzle. You're going to have to just do something and go back in the room. It'll happen again. So we do a dice roll, and add the player perception onto that. And then it just says the statue has appeared. Would you like to interact? Same again. If you hit no or anything else other than yes, then you've missed your chance. You're going to have to try again. Which it may seem bad, but it's actually a good way to do it. Like, kind of penalty for not watching what you're doing. Then we just have this little piece of text that happens just to explain how the door opens to the north. And then we have player get current position .get north room, and then unlock that. The last thing then is remove the 2 items from the player inventory, and then if you have the options to quit the puzzle, or maybe it's nothing and you get your perception roll wrong. Puzzle 2. So this is pretty much the same thing. If you're in the water room and you have the cube, it just says pillar raised up from the ground and the cube starts glowing. So you hit or to make a use item roll. The same thing as we done with perception. So if you have over 70 between your roll and your use item, then you figure out the puzzle. Otherwise, you can't figure it out, or you can quit the puzzle if you don't hit or. Then battle. This is where the fights occur if you go into a room with an enemy in it. So, just an introduction, it just says the name of the enemy stands in your way, get ready to battle. And then battle. And you start the battle loop. So, pretty much, the first thing you do is it asks you to roll for initiative, so who attacks first. So if you don't hit anything there, it's just going to set your initiative to 0. Again, a penalty for not listening, not reading what's happening. So player initiative is a roll dice, and then enemy initiative is just a random number between 1 and 100, or between 0 and 100 even. Yeah, there's no need to have them all printing out on screen like for the enemy. Then the check is, I really should have, I don't know why I didn't, just put this into a function, or even these into a function, or this into a function, but I rushed through this and just got it working. I never went back to it then. But what happens is, if your initiative is greater than or equal to the enemy, you go first. So then it asks you what do you want to do. You can heal yourself, or you can attack, and you roll for your attack, and then you reduce the enemy's health by your roll plus your OB. Right, and if you don't do that, if you don't hit or, you fail to attack. And the enemy reduced HP is the same as the player. So if the enemy's DB is greater than your attack, then you won't take any damage. And then after your turn, it's the enemy's turn. So random number, enemy attacks you with that random number. So it's a random number plus the enemy OB divided by 4, because they were seriously OP, and it just made them easier now, so that you can run through the game, and you can make it harder if you want to, just by changing this number. Though I would have liked to put in a difficulty setting in the config or something like that, but I didn't. Kind of just done the things I had to rather than the things I wanted to do, due to all the other projects and stuff. And then the else here is just the other way around. The enemy goes first, and then it's your go. So also up there, I must say as well that if after the enemy attacks, if your HP is less than or equal to 0, then it's going to break out and you won't get a go. Then so that happened while the player has greater than 0 health, and the enemy has greater than or equal to 0 health. And then the fight is over, and then we find out how it ended. So if the player's health is less than 0, then it says you lost the battle. Also, it then sets the enemy to 0, so next time you go in there, it won't trigger a battle. If you won the battle, it adds XP. So enemy has an EXP reward, adds that to your XP, and then it sets the enemy 0 and return true. So that's all that stuff in there. The map system I've talked about, I think, and login I've talked about. Is there anything else here I need to talk about? Interaction between players and enemies, I've done that. Game persistence. I really don't have anything for game persistence, and that's all I can say for that. I would have, had I got the item stores working properly, and had I got more time to do it, then I would have been able to get that done, but I've had to make sacrifices. It was pretty much had to come down to finish this off perfectly or pass 3D. that's the choice I had. I think that's everything, John. If you have any questions at all, you can send me an email. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Cheers, and also sorry for keeping you so long about this. Good luck.